Hello, I'm Stephanie from Quilt Addicts Anonymous.
And hello, I'm Angela Soebbing.
My very enthusiastic daughter is helping me out on this video tutorial today because you have designed your first quilt and you sewed it all yourself, although I did help with some cutting and pressing and pinning. But she's sewn every stitch. Yeah, you're a little too young to cut, but you'll work up to that. So we got this fabric from Clothworks ahead of when it came out, and it's called Unicorn Love. So we're going to take a peek at that first. But Angela and I worked together. I ran the computer program and she told me where she wanted everything. And so I did some math and fussy cut everything out, and we came up with a really simple quilting pattern that uses the fabric really big. It's so fun and cute, and we are going to show you how that goes together today. So far we've sewn for about 2 hours and we have the quilt about ready to go together. So I think 2 more hours and the quilt top will be done. And that's with her sewing every seam and me pressing them in between. So this is a great project to work on with your little ones, and it's a great one to use with a panel. So let's take a look at the fabric first, and then we'll get into the tutorial, okay?
Yeah, I love this out.
All right. So I remember when you first saw this, you thought it was pretty cool because there's lots of different little unicorns on here.
Yes, and alicorns.
And alicorns and Pegasus and all the things. She knows all the specific names of things because at one point in time you were obsessed with My Little Pony. But anyway, so these little guys we're gonna fussy cut and use as cornerstones in the sashing. Now fussy cutting is something that you probably should do as an adult. I shot some video of me doing this at home. I did it for both of the little ones and also the bigger prints that we're gonna look at next. What you're gonna do is put a little painter's tape on your square ruler at the size you need to cut to, and then that allows you to center the design, and then you're going to cut on the right and the top side first, flip it around, and then square it up to the size that you're cutting. You're going to do the same process for the little ones as you will for the big ones. I will say these are, even though there's like grid in the background, these are not actually printed straight, so don't panic if they're not perfect, because it doesn't matter. It's about having fun sewing either for or with your little one. All right, let's look at this other panel. So this is a second panel. It's the same unicorns that are in the little one, but blown up big. So these are kind of the focal point of our quilt, right?
Yeah.
So when you have panels like this, you can use it all together, or you can use it like what we did, where we cut each one out and use it as a block, which is great because there's very little piecing in the quilt. We just get to sew it together. So you haven't seen this one before. So what do you think? Got lots of rainbow wings and hair and manes.
That clear wing.
That is cool. So some of the quilt fabrics were used in the quilt, some we didn't. And so you have your pick of fabrics for backing and also binding. All right, this one was in the quilt. You got really excited when you saw this for the first time.
Unicorns.
Many in all different colors of the rainbow.
Wings.
All right, we've got our unicorn print again, this time with a pink background. That used to be your favorite color, pink and purple. You were all about it. This is my favorite color. I love the teal background for the unicorns.
Yeah. Oh, there are also little hearts.
There are little hearts.
The rainbow one is in the quilt, and when I first saw this fabric, I gave this like 99 for rainbow.
99 out of 10.
I like hearts.
So this is still a cool fabric. What about the pink version? Do you like that?
That's like 10. Oh, this is your favorite color.
It is my favorite color. I really like this one. I think it's super cute.
Plaid?
There is a plaid. So I think this needs to be our binding, and I think we need to do bias binding, which means it's going to kind of go on the diagonal to look super cute and have all the colors of the quilt. More plaid. And this one was like your absolute favorite when it came out. All right, so this is Unicorn Love from Clothworks. We have fat quarter bundles that include both panels and all of these goodies. Plus we're gonna have a kit from Angela's very first quilt design. All right, so like I said before, I've already pre-cut everything because her attention span won't handle it, and I don't think you're ready for the rotary cutter. I think someday, but not just right now. And then I did all the pinning and she did all the sewing. So it was really great tag team effort because we were able to really keep going and get a lot done in the hour time span that she can pay attention to this. So what would you like to do first for the tutorial? Do you want to sew together the sashing strip for the top or the block rows?
I'll do the block row.
What I did for this is I kind of, first of all, made sure everything was facing right side up, and it is, we're good there. And I'm gonna sew everything to the, or pin everything to the right side. So what I did to pin is I just pinned at the corners and then in the middle. And we talked about good technique for sewing corner and seams, and she's been doing this enough to where she does pretty good with that, except when you get a little bored with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pin these while she sews. So I'm gonna grab the sewing machine out so that she can get going and be occupied while I pin the rest of them together.
Even when Mom is very quick, at one point, I finished everything that Mom pinned for me before she even done more.
So I've set that up so quarter inch seam, you can go ahead and get going, and I'm gonna pin away while you sew. Okay, so where's your quarter inch? You gotta get it lined up a little better. There you go, good job. But you're starting in too far. We gotta get started at the edge, okay? That way you're sewing all the way out to the end.
I can see like the gripples.
Yep, those are called the feed dogs.
There you go.
Very good. All right, you're gonna change piece the next one?
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, just go ahead and grab one.
It's easy to change.
Makes it go a lot faster, doesn't it?
I think you have a lot of things change. There you go.
All right.
You know one.
All right, now this one is fancy because you can press the scissor button and it's gonna cut it for you. It's kind of fun, huh? All right, so while she was doing that, I tag teamed and pinned together the sashing. So I attached the cornerstone to the right side of all the sashing units. And now, while you chain piece those together, I'm gonna cut these apart and press all the seams open. So you're gonna see both of that happen at the same time. All right, now for the blocks that are going to be on our very left, we need to add sashing and cornerstones to those. So you can decide if you want to make your own layout or follow the layout that Angela has figured out for you. But this one is going to be in my top corner, so I need to add some sashing so that it will go all around. So we can get that ready. Do you get those all cut apart?
Yeah.
All right, so let's grab, you want to grab one of those and we can add a sashing to it? How about, because this is going to be up in the corner and it's the exact same one, so let's pick a different one to be in the top corner. Let's grab, we have other options. Perfect. So we're going to add this one here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead.
What does this say?
It says shine bright. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. Do you want I sweat glitter instead? You do sweat glitter in all your dance classes. All right, so I'm gonna press this seam here quick.
Sew.
You are gonna sew. Let me press this seam for you, and then you can sew these two seams while I get the rest of your sashing pressed and pinned. How about that?
Okay.
All right, so what's gonna happen next is Angela is gonna sew the sashing onto.
That's me.
Yep, that's you. She's going to sew the sashing onto the very left side, so that way we have sashing going all around. And while that happens, I'm going to start pressing my sashing open and cornerstones, and then get things pinned together so she can start sewing her rows together. So that'll be fun, right?
Yeah.
Nice little tag team. Although you got caught up to me. You're moving faster than I am today.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the sewing machine back up.
I have a lot of energy.
Yes, you do. All right, so we're gonna give those seams that we just sewed to add the final row of sashing and cornerstones a press. I always like to press those seams open when possible.
Wait, this doesn't have a corner thing.
It does. This is gonna be, the corner will go above it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how that works. We've got our sashing and our rows pinned together. So you're gonna sew your 1/4 inch seam next, and then we'll be able to join our rows after that. And then your favorite, not really, doing the really long seam. That's not your favorite part, is it? one's ready for you next.
Look at how long.
All right, so what are we doing next? We're gonna pin and sew our last row, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I flipped everything right sides together, and I'm just gonna line up these seams. And I actually see that you didn't sew all the way to the edge on this, but that's okay. We're gonna let it be. It'll get caught up in the seam allowance. So what I like to do, especially when I'm working with Angela, is I'm going to pin.
The longest seam ever.
It is the longest seam ever. I'm gonna pin at both of the seam joins here. Then I'm gonna put another one in the middle. And because I want to help her get those corners lined up to start, I normally wouldn't pin this for me, but I'm gonna pin these corners together just to help keep them together for her. All right, so I'm gonna keep working down, making those same pins all the way down to the end, and then you get to do your final seam, we can press, and then you can have your after school snack attack. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Angela, are you ready for the longest seam ever?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
So Angela finds it easier to have it going off to the side so it's not on the floor and it's not poking her.
On a chair.
Yes, on a chair. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Almost.
Sew away. Now remember, we're gonna sew until our needle's down in that seam allowance before we pull that pin out, remember?
Yeah, I just
Good job.
I do that so I don't have to
And let's put the pins in whenever we take it out so we don't lose pins. You did it! You made it through. You excited?
I'm saving a snack.
You ready for snack? All right, Angela has procured a snack. She's apparently famished after school, and after sewing. And to be fair, I did teach you, we went on a little quilt retreat last year, and the very first thing we did was go buy snacks, right? Because you have to have snacks when you sew.
Yeah.
This is a very important lesson that they need to learn very young. So that was a very fun part of our little quilt retreat for her and I. All right, here we have our seams they're not exactly pressed open. I'm not gonna worry about that because it's not worth picking it out for a quilt that she's doing herself. We'll work on that as we get older. But it looks really good, and I think your cousin is gonna absolutely love it. She's super into unicorns. All right, we're gonna press one more time from the right side. All right, so that's it. We got our rows sewn together. We're just gonna join them from here, and then the quilt top is done. So we've got a little bit more work to do off camera, but you did a great job today helping me out with the tutorial. All this stuff is available at shop.quiltaddicts.com. You can get Angela's pattern, Unicorn Love, and the kit to go with it. If you so choose, we've got lots of fabric for yardage, bundles, and the kits. So you wanna say thank you?
Thank you.
All right, thanks for following along, and until next time, you ready to say happy quilting with me?
Happy quilting.
Happy quilting. You should be excited. You had fun with me sewing this weekend.
What?
Are you ready to do the spinny? All right, this is Angela's favorite thing, is spinning in this chair. It has entertained her since I got it like 3 years ago. So we'll leave you with the spinning, Angela.